Life revolves around the stories. It is the stories told about life which give life its definition. And we should not live an undefined life. If you are living a life that you don't understand, you are not fully living. You're probably just existing. So the stories that I am telling here in this Calibishie Chronicle series are meant to give the youth in particular a consciousness of the community, Calibishie, that they were brought up in, and the stories about that community, so that they could apply those stories to their lives. Because even if we travel far and wide, your groundings remain your groundings. Your stomping ground remain your stomping grounds. Calibishie is what it is going to be for you for the rest of your life, even if you migrate. Because at the end of the day, you are who you are. Even if you go far and wide and make many tons of money, you are the product of your community. So young people from Calibishie, I am targeting you in my series of stories. Because I got those stories from people who cared enough to pass those stories on to me. Now, mark you, I'm not saying that everybody cared as much as I do, or that everybody treated me as well as I would like to treat everybody. But you know, with life and experiences, you mix the bitter with the sweet. You forgive, you don't forget, you move on, and you prove people wrong. So I wanted to really make this little segue here just to drive a focus, because there is no way I could be involved in doing something on the media that is not focused. This is not just a, happy come easy, fun and laughter episode. No, yes, we're going to laugh, because it's a good thing to be able to laugh, because laughter helps your health and your life. It brings sunshine to one's life. But while we laugh, we are going to edify ourselves with good information about who we are. So, young people, again, do not get impatient. Don't think that I'm boring you. I try to keep the episodes short so that you could listen, so that you would be empowered, even more empowered than I am today. Had I had an adult pontificating about Calibishie and the need to move on the way that I'm doing now for you, I might have been 10 times more than I am today. And I am a successful person today, thanks to my community. And thanks in particular to those people who pressed me, because I got a lot of press. Press like joke, but challenges make you stronger. So I'm challenging you young people today to get stronger. Step up, identify yourself within your community, within your family, and the rest will fall in line. There are people who call to offer me stories that I should relate, and I appreciate it. But I have to mull over the stories to apply it to my consciousness and understanding before I can tell it. Because you cannot tell a story that you don't understand. You will be lying. You will be misrepresenting the story. So even if I add some essence to the story, but the story remains true, the core of it remains true. Okay, so I have said enough in terms of the idea of the program. Let me talk a bit about the 70s, because that's my time. I'm a child of the 70s. I would not know anything beyond the 70s going backwards. And back then, the village, as well as other communities in Dominica, was going through transition. Because I think I explained what happened with the Great Depression in the world in the 1930s. I spoke about the role that America started to play following the Second World War. I spoke about the matter of the racism. I think I defined that, racism and supremacy, and explained that following the 70s, which was the Black Power era, the world started to move towards a more conscious axis. So black people started stepping up, and there were some clashes between blacks and whites. So the Dominican youths got caught in that wave that was happening in the world, and the Calibishie people was also part of it. So that was the era also of Bob Marley. So Bob Marley was the messenger at the time when I was a kid. And I would have been a Rasta with my big bongo today had I been a bit more advanced in age in the 70s. I'm guaranteeing you that, because I was gone. And I'll give you a little story in terms of what happened with me and my experiences with marijuana. That will be on the next episode, but I wanted to set the story before I told you that story. So Calibishie was like a shanty town, so to speak, you know. Well, the greater Calibishie, well, at least the back street part that I understood. Small houses, very colorful houses, wonderful surroundings, beautiful gates. Not in many of the houses, because we use hedges as our fences. But Calibishie was a very humble, basic community, and there are people who took on the radical idea a bit to the extreme, and people like me, who was always shy and timid, kind of stayed in the middle and played it safe. And I'll tell you about my brothers, most of them who did not play it safe, and how much I miss them, and I may have a message or two for the youths in the next episode, when I will discuss this idea of my experiences with marijuana in Calibishie. That's coming up on the next episode.